Yo, what up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So listen, I was watching the Dr. Boyce Watkins video today, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is now under attack by feminism, by allegations and accusations that he groped. One accusation was he groped a woman, and another is when he was, his undergrad, I believe, or his graduates program, I should say, a woman accused him of raping her. Many of you do not know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a black man, an African-American man, who is also one of the foremost astrophysicists in the world. He is one of the physicists who actually got Pluto declassified as a planet. You've seen him on things like Star Talk. He's appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's appeared on The Breakfast Club. He also hosted the show Cosmos that some of my more astrophysics and space nerds out there have seen a million times over, just like I have. Cosmos is the 21st century version of Cosmos is a remake of the original Carl Sagan Cosmos, who, by the way, happens to be Neil deGrasse Tyson's mentor. He has a nice little story about when he first met Carl Sagan. This is what I want to say, right? This is what I noticed. See, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I had the privilege while I was coming up, going through military school and everything, to visit some Holocaust museums. In fact, there's one right downtown Baltimore, actually, but I mean, there's probably one in most major cities. And I actually heard Holocaust survivors speak and talk about their experience during the Holocaust. It was some very, very profound shit. Or it was profound shit, I should say. Now, there's one story. I heard something similar when I did hear these Holocaust survivors speak, but this is something that I read in a book. And basically, it went like this. This is a Holocaust survivor's his take on what happened and the events that led up to the actual Holocaust, where the majority of Jewish people in Germany and in Eastern Europe were basically forced onto concentration camps. One of the most famous one is Auschwitz, however you pronounce it. So what he says was, what he states is, first they came for, the Gestapo, that's his army for the most part, the Secret Service. They came for the scientists, the teachers, the thinkers in their group. They came for those people first. Then next down, they came for the doctors and the lawyers, the other, high profile people like the jewelers and things like that. And then slowly but surely, they started going down the ranks until they got to the average everyday person. Now, what he was saying was, when they came for the doctors and lawyers, he didn't say anything. When they came for the scientists and the teachers, he didn't do anything. When he came for the garbage men, nothing. So on and so forth. When it came for my neighbor, I stood there and do nothing. And by the time they came for me, and I looked around to see who would be there to help me, there was no one left. This is one of the reasons why Jewish people do not allow the world or themselves to forget about the Holocaust, so that they never again put themselves in a position where they turn their back on each other and allow that shit to happen. What I see happening with black men is the same thing that led us into one of the things that led us into World War II, especially Hitler's Nazi Germany. Us allowing the system to continuously demonize our black men, our brothers, our sisters, and put their necks on the chopping block for a cause that is evil in its intent. This Me Too movement has been hijacked by evil white supremacist fucking females who are using the Me Too movement as this way to subvert attention from the fact that black men are being marginalized and targeted in this community. I'm not saying that female sexual harassment isn't an issue, but there are women who sexually harass men all day. In fact, that's what I would even go so far as to say. This is what men need to do, because this feminism shit is bullshit. And the Me Too movement is quickly turning into some bullshit. You bitches are jumping on the bandwagon for every broad that say he did this to me. Listen, Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of his accusers accused him in 2009. That's almost 10 years ago. It's almost 2019. We got a month and it's 2019. It's the 21st century. You could have easily made a fucking complaint and said this man groped you. Even a woman who said that he groped her. This man, I think he got his PhD in the early 90s, bro. I was still a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was still a little kid in the early 90s. I was a little kid in the early 90s. Put it like that. Can't even recall where I was in the world during that time, but this is when this man, so this is over 20 years. And this woman is saying something now. I'm not saying that these women are lying. What I'm saying is they usually want proof for allegations and baseless accusations that come out of nowhere. And what I'm assuming is Neil deGrasse Tyson either has lived up his usefulness for the liberal white agenda, or he said something and pissed white people off, and now they're exerting their control and their power over his career and his future. You know, Bill Cosby was attacked. They tried to get Charlemagne the God. They are attacking our men. They are going after the black men who are prominent, who are in the forefront. They're going after them. Eventually, they're going to start coming after everyday brothers like this. Eventually, they're going to do that. It's the story that the Jewish Holocaust survivor spoke about there being no one left to fight for him when the Gestapo came for him. But they systematically picked them apart, marginalized them, made them feel as though that person next to you, you don't need to worry about fighting for him unless your ass want to get in trouble too. But it's better that some of you get in trouble for freeing you all than none of you get in trouble for the enslavement, for preventing the enslavement of you all. That's all I got to really say about that. I just wanted to bring the situation to light. And this is what I'm noticing. Again, I'm not saying that Neil deGrasse Tyson did not do anything wrong. I don't know. But just like in the Bill Cosby case, there is no fucking evidence. There is no proof. There's no proof. There isn't even any proof that any of these, from what I understand, I could be wrong, there isn't even any proof of these women even reporting him to the authorities even after the situation. They're coming out now and saying this shit. Black men are under a fucking attack, and it's about time we realize that shit. We are not safe in this country, and we need to arm ourselves mentally and physically, and prepare ourselves to plant our feet, buckle down, step back on your pivot, you know what I'm saying, and be ready to square up with motherfuckers. It's time. We have reached that point in America, black men. We have reached that point once again, I should say, because this isn't the first time that we've been here. And until we stand the fuck up and fight back, it won't be the last. But what they're doing now, look at what this secular constitution is allowing to happen in America. America, white supremacy and white people, because even if you don't claim white supremacists, or even claim that you hate other races or non-white races of people, you're still complacent and compliant with the system of white supremacy. Because show me the white organization that is actually out there fighting against white supremacy. Show me the organization that white people have erected to fight against white supremacy, since they're all for equality. Fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. They say justice is blind, but they only think it's blind when they're the only ones getting justice. Everybody else can go fucking screw themselves. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying the bullshit liberal agenda. I'm not buying anything that white people say to me. If you're a white person and you're not talking about the things I'm talking about, you're probably my fucking enemy, without a doubt. If you are a black person, if you are a human and you do not share the same concern for my people that I do, and you think we deserve this treatment, fuck you, you're my enemy. Anyway, man, I see America setting up its system, its infrastructure to put white true white supremacist, clan-thinking people in positions of indisputable power. People who are indisputable power, I should say. People like Jeff Sessions. These people are getting put in appointed positions. Not positions that they got hired for or even voted into. They were appointed. These are lifelong positions in a lot of these positions. And we have some of the most hateful and bigoted white supremacists on the face of the earth being placed in these positions. We are getting fucking fattened up so that we can be slaughtered. They are shearing us for the slaughter, and we don't even fucking see it yet. But this thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson, look, I'm not defending him, and I'm not condemning him. I don't know what happened. I don't know the truth of these allegations, but I do see the how do you say? I do see, however, the pattern that is being created. I see that pattern that's being created. There's a pattern that's being created, and white people are still following the same model. You know what I'm saying? It's like a template. They've been following the same template forever. White women have been lying on black men for fucking ever, getting us lynched and put into prison forever. Forever, white women have been doing this, and they're still doing it, and they're still allowed to do it, and nobody says anything about it. The system is fucked up, and as many people out here think that there are no conspiracies, please, let's go back to the Tuskegee experiments, the war on drugs, COINTELPRO, and on Jim Crow, and on 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 and on. There may not be any conspiracies against white people, but there damn sure are conspiracies against black people in this country. It is a continuation of the same old shit. And black people are too busy trying to be these motherfuckers' friends. Fuck out of here, man.